Well, hey everybody, how y'all doing today? I'm Jack. Welcome to another episode of Raw Tropical Living. I'm shooting this one at the end of the day. I don't do this very often. I have just pretty much finished everything. I got a few more touches in the morning, but I'm pretty much ready to leave. I'm shooting this video on Wednesday, and I'll be leaving tomorrow to go to Pensacola. So I didn't get all that much ahead. This will be the last video you see for a while from the house. I'm gonna probably I'm gonna try to shoot a couple of videos in Pensacola tomorrow, and I'm gonna try to shoot a couple or three while I'm in my hotel in Albany. Maybe I'll make a salad or do something, but who knows. Anyhow, just thought I'd talk about something more important than my raw food diet tonight. I do videos every day, so I'd really appreciate it. Go down there now and hit that subscribe button, please. And then click on the little bell and check send notifications so you'll stay subscribed to the channel. I'm going to try not to get too rambling today. This is just kind of a little free flow video on the priorities in life, or the priorities in my life, I should say. It's always about the food. It's always about the food. And, you know, I'm kind of getting to a place I'm ready to move on beyond the food. Doesn't mean I want to stop talking about food, but there's just other areas to explore. But it always seems to be food, food, food. And I just wanted to throw some encouragement to people out there that it's not all about the food. And for me, although it seems like that, it's because I do a channel. It's because I own social media. I don't really put that much thought and effort and my whole life into the actual eating of the fruit. For me, the diet was just like a catalyst or a portal, if you will, that kind of like, you know, just let my body clean itself out, clear my mind up enough to get in. That was like the foot in the door, the food, the cleaning of the body, which led to other things. There's so many more things that are really more important to me these days, but because, once again, not abandoning the food, but the food is just the base now. It's done. It's over. It's like, I'm not saying I do it perfect, and I'm not saying I won't change and learn more and whatever, but the food is pretty much set. People ask me a lot of times, like, well, did you go vegan first? Did you go raw vegan? No, I went high raw vegan first. I just kind of, you know, just did it and figured it out. I'm not a very patient person. I wouldn't have had the patience to try doing this lifestyle for like 2 years or so. And I would say, don't try to do this lifestyle for years, long amount of time. At some point in this lifestyle, there is do or do not. I think there's a lot more benefit nutrition wise, well, just overall what we're taking into our body when we're not in conflict all the time. I talked about this in a video not too long ago, and I just don't think it's good, all this just stressing over the food, stressing over not being able to be a perfect raw vegan, if you will. And when a lot of times, like, you know, I'd rather just see some of these failed raw vegans, these people that just won't stop. I'd rather just see them do a version of something like Esselstyn does, you know, just like plant-based, oil-free, salt-free, and they'd come out much better because they'd be consistent. Okay, maybe they're not doing the wrong, but they'd be consistent, and they'd be much better off health-wise than the whole, okay, I can hang on, I can do raw for a while, but then when I go off the rails, I go really far off the rails to correct. Or what I'm always talking about, having to use too much fat to stay raw. You shouldn't have to if you have to use fat to stay raw, then you're just not doing it right. And let me clarify, because every time I mention fat, people act like I'm extremist. No, you need to be eating a healthy amount of fat. You don't need to be doing this uber low stuff. In fact, sometimes I think I'm a bad example. I think, you know, I go through these periods of just not adding fat. And I don't necessarily recommend, you know, the super low thing more than a period of time. But it's not about the raw food. For me, there's a lot more things that take precedent. My meditation practice is an anchor. It's become a foundation, and I wouldn't have gotten, you know, I wouldn't have evolved, I wouldn't have been led into my practice had it not been for the food in the first place. So I'm not saying the food's not important. The food, you know, it still isn't a major part of how I changed my life. But Yeah, breath work, energy work, meditation. I'm going further and further with that. I mean, I've just kind of fallen in love with the meditation, the breath, and I want to go further with that. I want to explore that further. I want to explore some real pranayama. I just don't, I'm in a little town. I don't have people to mix with, network with, talk with. I need some of that energy. I need a yoga teacher to come live with me. Another thing that's really, really important to me, I know I talk about going to the gym, and I want to start doing more things again. Well, I walked a lot this summer. I go to the gym, as I mentioned in the last video, and I'll talk about that in a more depth later. Definitely getting back to my yoga mat for the last 4 months of the year, and excited, to see where that goes. And just, it's going to be a challenge. I know it is, because I'm weak in some areas too. There's some areas where I can catch myself talking about the food, and I'm like, well, I need to take that advice in other areas. I have a hard time practicing, but I like the energy of people when it comes to yoga, and I was at a point, I wasn't ready to go off on my own. I need a teacher and need somebody there for a little bit of guidance. And another practice that always takes precedence over this, and it's just a hard bit of work, is ego. Letting go of the ego, catching myself when I find myself coming from a place of ego. Those are all things that are, that I'm working on. Because the food, I'm not working on the food, but these things I'm working on. Being kinder to other people. Working on that heart chakra, opening the heart chakra more, because I'm not it's not my natural, I'm not a mean person, but I'm kind of a little bit cold. I want to be more empathetic to people. I want to reach out to people more. And I always want to, I wouldn't say I'm unkind. I am kind. I just don't necessarily sometimes go out of my way for things. But that's always the most important, how we're treating other people, how we're relating to other people. So I don't know, like I said, I don't want to ramble too much today, but just something to think about. Maybe, like, do you really want to be yammering on and everything be about this food thing forever? That's why I'm always kind of saying, set yourself a plan, figure out a way to make it work for you, and go ahead and get the food thing, check that off, get the food thing out of the way, and get to that place where you want to start exploring things. I mean, with movement, with the yoga, I had a couple of notes here I just didn't want to miss. Another thing that's big important for me, and that's why I want to get back to the yoga in conjunction with the weights, is because I'm 54 years old. I'll be 55 in March. I mean, I'm officially senior citizen in March of 2019. And I'm very aware, and I'm always paying attention, and I'm always reading material and looking for stuff that's good for the body as it ages, which yoga is. Good for circulation, keeps us limber, going to the gym. And I'm not like some super strong dude. I don't lift super heavy, because at my age I don't want to be messing with these joints and ligaments and stuff. I just like to stay nice and tight and toned. It's good for your bones as we get older. But yeah, I just want to I always want to be moving, because it's all about the quality where we get to in the end of life for me. And anyhow, I just enjoy this adventure, and life's too short to ramble on and on about food all the time. So find some other things. Don't get just too obsessed with the food part of it, because that's probably not healthy either. So anyhow, hope you guys enjoyed this rambling video today. If you like it, please give me a thumbs up, and I'll maybe see you tomorrow. It just depends now that I'm on the road. Peace.